Wildfires ravage historic California Gold Rush town. At the heart of California's Sierra Nevada foothills lies Chinese Camp, a tiny community with fewer than 100 residents, but with an outsized role in America's history. Established in the mid 1800s, it was once home to thousands of Chinese miners who had come during the gold rush in search of fortune and survival. The town boasted lively streets, saloons, stagecoach stops, and a small but resilient Chinese immigrant community that shaped the story of California. Many of its original structures, wooden homes, cemeteries, and churches, had stood for more than 150 years. But in early September 2025, that history went up in flames. How it started. A lightning storm ignited a series of blazes across Tuolumne and Calaveras counties, later grouped under the name TCU September Lightning Complex. Within hours, dry brush and record high temperatures turned sparks into infernos. One of the hardest hit areas was Chinese Camp. Residents described walls of fire racing down hillsides, embers carried by the wind, and a sky turned red with smoke. The damage. By the time firefighters arrived, much of the town was already engulfed. Dozens of homes were destroyed, leaving families displaced. Several Gold Rush-era landmarks burned, including a 19th-century stagecoach stop and parts of the Hilltop Cemetery. Miraculously, the St. Francis Xavier Catholic Church, built in 1854, survived the flames, standing as a lone reminder of resilience amidst destruction. One resident said, "We lost not just our homes, but pieces of history that told the story of people who struggled, dreamed, and built lives here." Evacuation and firefighting. Nearly the entire population of the town was forced to evacuate. Firefighters, over 600 in total, fought tirelessly, but containment remained low due to strong winds and rugged terrain. Air support dropped water and retardant, yet the fire moved with frightening speed. Despite the devastation, no deaths or injuries were reported, a small miracle given the scale of the blaze. The bigger picture: climate change and lightning fires. This wildfire is not just a local disaster, it's part of a broader climate crisis. Scientists have long warned that climate change is fueling more lightning-sparked wildfires. Rising temperatures dry out vegetation, creating perfect conditions for fires to explode when struck by lightning. In fact, research shows that lightning-driven wildfires are becoming more common in the western U.S. These fires are especially dangerous because they often start in remote, rugged terrain, where firefighting is more difficult, and they spread faster under hot, dry, and windy conditions. For California, this means that historic towns, forests, and cultural heritage sites will face increasing threats. Rebuilding, preserving memory and preparing for the future. Even as ashes cooled, attention turned to recovery. Preservationists began surveying the damage, hoping to salvage what they could of the historic landmarks. Fundraising campaigns were launched to help displaced residents and restore parts of the town. Plans are underway to rebuild using fire-resilient materials, stone, metal roofing, and defensible landscaping, while trying to maintain the authenticity of Gold Rush-era architecture. Efforts to document the town's heritage through oral histories, photographs, and architectural records are being prioritized so that even what was lost will not be forgotten. Why it matters. Chinese Camp is more than a dot on the map. It is a living reminder of the struggles and contributions of Chinese immigrants who face discrimination, violence, and hardship while helping to build California's economy. Losing such a place is not just a local tragedy, it's a blow to America's cultural memory. The wildfire is also a warning. As the climate crisis intensifies, more historic towns, forests, and communities are at risk. What happened in Chinese Camp may soon become an all-too-familiar story unless stronger climate adaptation, fire prevention, and sustainable rebuilding measures are taken. Conclusion. The destruction of Chinese Camp by wildfire is both heartbreaking and symbolic. It shows how a single lightning strike, supercharged by climate conditions, can erase centuries of history in a matter of hours. Yet it also demonstrates resilience. The people survived, the church still stands, and efforts to rebuild are already underway.